Call us to order. Join us for the pledge, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have Christy and Mark on Zoom here. Item number 2, need a motion to approve the waiver of notice. Casey,
I'll second
Casey and Mary.
it. That needs to go.
All in favor? 6-0. Approval of the meeting agenda for a special Board of Education meeting, September 16th.
Oh,
Keith
I'll second.
and Mary. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, we're gonna get into the budget stuff, which is why we're here tonight. I wanna make a couple comments beforehand. So, we had our budget hearing on Monday. There was some concerns expressed about the increase to the mill levy, the tax burden. It was our recommendation that Tyson and Rainey go back, do some work to try to lighten that burden a little bit. We have a new budget that's been put together and presented. Tonight is not a budget hearing. We're strictly here, we have Matt Medill here, who's our auditor. He's gonna talk a little bit about it, but probably not gonna take public comment on it a lot. I think Matt will be able to explain and answer some questions for us, and then we'll see where that goes. So, how do you want to say anything? Want Matt to explain? Did everybody get a chance to look at it?
Yeah.
And the differences?
Yeah, I mean, so after you gave us the direction to go back and try to get the mills down to around 28, we got it to 27.717. We did that by reducing our contingency fund by 90,000. So we had to transfer some stuff to make our balances in our LOB, the supplemental general fund, go back up. And so we ended up reducing contingency by 90,000. And so that brings our contingency down to 257. It was at 347. And the importance of that is it's KSDE's recommendation that the school district carries a month's worth of expenses in its contingency fund, so that if something would happen and you didn't get your money or whatever, you could still pay your expenses. We no longer can do that at USD 216. And so we don't have that in there. And so we'll work on getting that back over time. And then we also had to reduce CTE's opening balance this year from 62,269 to 42,269. So we reduced the CTE budget 20,000 as well by reducing that starting balance to get our LOB balance up to 171,000 is where a little bit over 171 is where that balance is now starting out at. Working through some things and just and Matt can probably explain this a lot better and talk to this a lot more, but every year that a school district doesn't spend their supplemental general authority is a year that the school district's leaving money out on the table. That's not going towards kids, teachers, those type of things. And so in 19, there was $70,888 left on the table. In 20, there was $137,037 left on the table. With this proposed budget, there'll be $117,000 left on the table. So over 4 years, we're looking at over $400,000 that has been left out on the table that the school district hasn't received to go towards the school district and everything. So, and with that, you probably have questions as to why, and so I'll turn it back over to you and you can explain.
You wanna explain a little bit?
Sure. I guess kind of ask questions so I know where to go. So the legal max you have on two funds that the state regulates, your general fund and your LOB fund, which is your supplemental general. Those legal maxes are the authority that the school district can spend. So once you hit those legal max, let's say you have some cash left over, you can't spend that funding anymore. So the state says, with your number of kids and everything they calculate, say your legal max is X. So you can spend up to that. The money you don't spend up to it, they used to use the term as you have to pay it back to the state, which is kind of the same. So let's say last year you guys requested $700,000, you carried over $200,000. So the state sent you $500,000 because you had $200,000 in cash. So you lost out on that $200,000 of cash because you had it. So once that year passes, you can never be like a city or a county and get that money back. Say, hey, next year we'll just increase another 5 on top of this and another 5 on top of this to get it back. Because once you reach the mills to get that legal max, you're done. You can't go above it, no matter what you want. If you're going bankrupt, whatever, you're capped at that legal max mill and you're done. So the money, if you don't use it all, and technically, I wouldn't want to say lose, but you don't get it, you can't ever get that money back. So the $400,000 he was talking about the past 3 years, you can't say, okay, we're gonna go to 28, then we'll go to 35 to get some of that $400,000 back. If the state says you're stuck at 30 because that gets you your legal max, you're done. You're stuck at 30, even if you want 35 meals, you can't have it.
Is there a way to, let's say you have $112,000, or whatever, $100,000
Okay.
number left in there. Is there a way to transfer that out back into another line item to keep it?
Nope. So once you hit your legal max, you're done. The only thing that allows you to spend extra, and I shouldn't say spend extra, are if you get reimbursements from people, you can add that back to your legal max. So your legal max plus your reimbursement, because that's not really income, it's reimbursements, is your new legal max number. So can you transfer out as no, once you hit that magic number of the legal max, you can't do anything. You're just, that money stays there, and then you do your next budget, and again, they kind of decrease it so you can get that back to zero.
Okay. And that doesn't go back to the taxpayers, right? Like if we don't spend,
That's where I was talking about yes and no, because let's stick with our 700,000 equation. Let's say you're allowed to legal max 700,000 and you have 100,000 of cash. Well, technically your legal max taxing is now 600,000 because you have that 100 to make 700. So does it go back? No, but it just doesn't allow you to tax or increase a mill to get it because you have this carryover. So I guess it's how you slice the pie. Do they get it back? Kind of, because you didn't tax for it. Do they really get it back? No.
Okay.
So if you don't use your LOB, it's kind of like a snowball. So if you don't use it, you don't use it, you don't use it, well, down the road, then it's gonna take you a lot to get it back because you've never used it, so it just keeps growing.
Questions?
So,
Yeah.
so then the options are, you slowly do it, but every year that you slowly do it, you're just
You're
essentially
losing extra
leaving
money
out there.
Correct.
Or you do it all at once. So
Right.
that's really the decision is, do you just slowly do it? And,
Right.
and so, and
So basically, the board's gotta make a decision they have to weigh, which is hard, is do you take it all in one lump sum so you stop losing money or leaving money on the table? Let's not say losing, because it's not like you're spending it. Leaving money on the table, or do you spread it out and lose money each year for the school until you're caught up? So you got a scenario of playing catch up now and not leaving it on the table, or doing 2-year, 5-year, 10, whatever the board decides to spread it out. If they do decide that, is how much money do you leave on the table? And when you add all that up, did that hurt the school? Like you said, you could spread it out and leave $1 million on the table, $2 million on the table. It all depends on how far you string it out. And the same thing for the past, you could go back forever on the school and see how much they've left out forever. So it's just something you guys gotta weigh. Do you string it out multiple years, take it all at once, never take it? So that's kind of up to you guys, but yes, the farther you spread it out, technically the more you leave on the table because it keeps adding year after year, yes.
Anything else, anybody? Okay,
thanks, Matt.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome.
So, I wanna say, for those that are here, I don't think there's anybody at this table that wants to create undue tax burden on anybody in the county. I don't. Last year, beginning of the year, we sat down and we created goals for Tyson and the district. And one of those goals is develop and implement programs that are beneficial to kids that we have in the district. We've seen a big growth this year. We went from one CT, career and tech ed, which that's one thing that we've been hammering on at board meetings for month after month after month. We talked about it, career and tech ed. Not every kid is a college kid. And we understand that, so we have programs now where they can leave here with welding certifications and go make some money when they graduate. We have an ag program that we've started now, just this year, which in this part of the country is a very good thing. We have kids that can take and become a certified nail tech and get their CNA and get their EMR or their EMT if they want to. We have 13 career and tech ed pathways that our kids can start, take college hours while they're still here by working with the college to where they don't have to leave here with the mindset that going to the kill floor at Tyson is their only option, right? So it costs money to do it. I mean, it does. And we've seen growth, and we're hoping that next year we're gonna see the revenue created by that growth. And hopefully, I mean, it's a problem now. We have to try to educate 240 kids on a 182 kid budget, because that's what we had enrolled last year, which is a good problem to have, I guess. I guess it'd be great to have that problem every year, maybe. But we've got to find ways to get some more teachers. We do. I mean, we have 25 in the first grade.
We enrolled some yesterday, so.
I think we have 27 freshmen right now. So we're seeing some numbers increase, which is a good deal, but it's not our intent to spend money. And I want to say, for the record, Keith sent me a text, so yesterday or this morning, yesterday, that he took his third phone call asking why we were increasing taxes to pay for a turf football field. We are not using any money right now or at any time in the foreseeable future that we've talked about to put in a turf football field. We have major issues with our facilities that are gonna have to be addressed. We do. I mean, the facility needs assessment we got Monday night showed that the south wall of the high school's almost rusted through in places. The steel beams that support the roof. So there's gonna have to be some things done. So, I mean, I appreciate Betty coming Monday and talking to us, and we sent it back. We brought it down. I mean, it was a 10 mil jump. We brought it down to less than 5 at this point, but I mean, I just think five years ago, I honestly thought it was a discussion of when Deerfield was gonna close, not if. I don't think that's the case. I think we've seen some growth. I think some good things are happening. I honestly think we have our neighbors to the east and west a little bit nervous in some cases because of some of the stuff that we were able to offer, but with the county's expense. So I don't wanna make light of increasing the tax burden on people, I really don't. And we did minimize it compared to what was initially presented. And it's gonna be a struggle, we'll make it work. But I just don't want people to think, and I would really like to kill the football field thing, if at all possible. So, any more discussion from anybody on the board?
Yeah, the only thing I would say is, any small town in history that you look at, you can look at all kinds of data to prove what I'm about to say. If the school goes away, the town is done. I mean, it's a little different for us because we've got other schools that people could go to, but we won't have people moving in. So we've got to do everything we can as a community to keep the school going. Whether that is showing up at these meetings, showing up at football games, getting people excited about Deerfield, getting people excited about the school, going to county commissions, talking to them about bringing industry in so that we can, not just this school, but also help Lakin and also help out the hospital and all these different things that need revenue, tax revenue, in order to sustain and to grow. So.
And we gotta do a better job of telling our story and communication. I mean, our goal for the next 5 years, next 5 months, is as these programs grow, that you guys know about it. I mean, you need to see a return on your investment. And that's our goal. It truly is. So, anything else? Christy, Mark? Anything?
I would just reiterate that, I am in agreement with the budget that's being presented. I just, and I do agree that, you know, we have good things happening here at Deerfield, and we have forward momentum that's going in a great direction with our career tech ed pathways and with our increased enrollment. And I think that we just have to, you know, within reason, keep moving forward. And so I do think that I'm very grateful that we were able to lower the amount that we're having to raise the mill, but I also think that we do need to continue to just communicate those things that we are doing, and just continue to support our school because it is the life of our community.
Yes, the only thing I have is that, you know, we have been, I think, putting Band-Aids on things in the past. We need to move forward and, we're gonna have a tough decision on what we do with our buildings, and also continue to educate our kids about it. I know our first, mill rate was very high. That also indicated that we were ready to move forward to do some of these things, make sure our kids have the proper education as we move forward. Our budget at this point, the last 4 years, has basically stayed the same. In that same 4 years, prices have went up, so we have less purchasing power. We need to continue, hopefully our enrollment will increase. So we don't have to raise our rail levy. But that's one of those things that's gonna have to be done to continue our process to make Deerfield viable. All right.
Anybody else?
I think for me, going off of what you two said, like, the numbers are there that Kearney County is, like, people move out and not enough people move back in to replace the people moving out. So we could be one of those counties that are looking at someday eventually dying off. You know, if we don't support the stuff that's here, like Casey said, like our hospital, like our schools, our county will be pointless. And we'll become, Deerfield can become another Pierceville or another area like that has gone under. So I agree that, you know, we don't want to burden anybody with increased taxes, but we also want to give our students the best opportunity, and the building has been, it's run down. I mean, when I did the tour and I went to the science room, it looks the exact same way when I graduated. From when I graduated, nothing's changed. So it's trying to give our students the greatest opportunity to learn that we need to do, and to get people to want to move here, want to move to Kearney County, want to invest in Kearney County in general. Whether it's at this school district or another one, that we have something special to offer, people will hopefully come for that.
Guess I'll just reiterate that, you know, getting those calls about the football field, it was laughable, and then it was very frustrating. I just mostly want to reiterate that I don't like this as much as anybody else does. The dollars that it's being used for is not for a turf football field. It's not for, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. They're necessary dollars to educate kids and to keep the school, as I said, moving forward in a good manner. None of it's wasteful on anything cosmetic to make us look good. It's all necessary. So that's all. I just want to reiterate that stuff.
Anybody else? Alright, so we've been presented a budget. Somebody want to make a motion to adopt it? Isaac? Keith seconds. Any more discussion? All in favor? Opposed? 6-1 with Mark voting against? Or 5-1? No? Christie's on here.
Yes.
6-1 with Mark voting against. All right. Executive session for personnel issue. Okay. I'll make the motion to board to an executive session with Mr. Eslinger, Ms. Whether discuss classified certified personnel pursuant to non-elected exception under coma. Board return to the open meeting at 6:45.
I just wanted to say thank you, board, for your consideration and your time and all your volunteer work, because I know you get paid a whole bunch of money.
Well, if you didn't notice in the salary, in the budget, we doubled our salary.
Well, triple it, why mess with double? So, no, I just wanted to say thank you for your time. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you.
Okay.
So, motion and second, all in favor? Casey. I made the motion, Casey seconded. All right, let's go.
No, it's a few things, just real quick. And so back to the MISU math thing, so, I brought Shane in and I had Raina in there with me just since it was HR stuff and he was pretty upset, about it and
Who?
Shane.
Oh,
This
okay.
is from Shane. So this is from Shane, so
This is a reference to what we brought up the other night.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
But we have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
Nope.
We are adjourned then. Thanks, Christy and Mark, for getting on.
my